Hello guys and welcome back to Castle Coaster. This is the second chapter of the series. It won't be long and well, I would like to start this episode saying again I'm sorry for my English. I know it's not the greatest, but at least I hope you understand me. And well, in the last chapter we create this first main building, or at least the highest one on the construction. And I did like to terraform a little bit around it. At least the part of the mountains I didn't want to touch anymore. Like this side we are adding some textures here, like a more rocky, hilly kind of texture, which is pretty good. And then I start adding these rocks, which some of them are just massive, but that's not a real problem because, as you see, you can just dig it into the terrain and sort it out. And well, I realized further on in this series that it was pretty much a mistake because all these props, rocks, trees, whatever you like, I had to remove them once I start creating the roller coaster, because basically the rails cannot go through them. So yeah, all this work was pretty much for nothing. But anyway, it gave me the feeling I can find the look I was looking for. And yeah, as you can see, you just build up lots and lots of rocks, and it gives you that feeling of rocky mountain, like I liked how I was looking for. Like, oh well, I live very near to Edinburgh, and I recommend you guys to come here to visit it because it's beautiful, and it got right in the city center of the say. It got this huge, massive castle on top of a very rocky mountain. It was, I believe, a volcano long time ago, like million years ago, and yeah, it got this rocky looking kind of thing, and I was looking for something like that. Obviously, it's not a recreation of that castle. It's not even similar, but at least the mountain, it gave me the inspiration, no, to do this. And yeah, here we go. Sorry about that. And back to the gameplay. I was adding some foliage here and with the rocky, and just this is pretty much what I was looking for this appearance for this mountain. And yeah, you start adding different plants, and yeah, here working just with the same. I gave this kind of feeling like the vegetation growing from the bottom of the castle, and I don't know, I think it worked very well, as you can see here. And yeah, because here we go, I tried to explain this the last chapter, and I don't think I made myself clear, but I was looking for some AV, that's I suppose how it's called, right? But we don't have any just yet in the game, because I've seen one of on the theme parks is already done. It's gonna be in the game, but I suppose in future updates, right? So I use this plant, and you twist it and move it around it, and you just put it inside the building, just leaving a little bit out, and it gives this looking of AV I was looking for, no? Because as well, I would like to have some walls like we are using, but just like a musky kind of thing. But we don't have any, so I have to work with what we have, and at the moment so far is pretty good what I've been doing, at least I think so. And yeah, here we go again with the terraforming tool. Finishing up this little bit because I wanted to add another two main buildings to the castle, the other two main buildings. So yeah, attached to this main tower we created in the last chapter, I start making the bridge. Yeah, it's gonna connect to the second main tower of this castle, and as you will see shortly, it worked pretty well as well, right? And yeah, in this chapter is more focused to create the main structures of what's gonna be the whole castle. And here we go creating this bridge because as well they have given us a new archy kind of wall thing, medievalist with this kind of stony walls, and it's pretty good, but not for the length of the bridge I was creating. So I had to use these arch things we are using just now, and I don't know, just a 3 units length of roof with these arches. It gave me the size I was looking for, and this is what you're seeing just now, the main tower of the second building, which is pretty much as high as the other one, just a tiny bit more shorter. And yeah, here we go, creating a separate building, which is gonna be the base of the second building. Let's say there you go. This is we just put in here now. It's gonna be what we're gonna call from now on the second building, right? And yeah, you just create it, attach it to what you have, and then attach more things into it, right? And like you see now, it's flowing on air, and that's not a big problem because, like I said, you go back and forward with the terraforming tool and the building, and now it's floating. But that's not a big problem because you just can go and put the ground level a little bit higher or a little bit lower, whatever it suits you. And here we are still with this second building, right? I'm attaching now a tower here, so it give it more, how to say, more detail, or not just a very blocky building like I did with the first one. And it started looking what I was looking for at the beginning. Like always happened to me when I'm starting to create something like that. You create the main thing or the main structure of the building, and it's something very square, ugly thing, right? And I don't really like it. But as much building you attach to it and you start adding some detail, it start looking really nice, and makes me like it more, and makes me want it to go forward with the creation, right? And like you see now, I'm using the transforming tool again to make it more believable. I don't know, more like you really build on that mountain, not the mountain around it. Even when I'm doing actually that, but you can cheat, let's say, and make it look like you have built the castle on top of the mountain and not otherwise. And here we go with the third main structure, the third building of this castle, which is gonna be in a minute place on the mountain. And again, I start playing with the editing tool before I add the castle. You're gonna see in a minute, and then I create something, I don't like it, so I undo a little bit, add another tower, and you will see that so far you're gonna have the same feeling. This just doesn't look right just now, right? But once you integrate this on the mountain and start adding more buildings to it and start adding some details like just now this, and here we go. I want you to see this because it's placed at the same height of the second building, right? And I didn't really like it, so I said, oh, fuck it, let's make a third platform a little bit lower, so it just doesn't stop the view, no, from the main thing we created in the last episode. Yeah, I just place it here, as you can see. You rotate it a little bit, and then you just go with the terraforming tool, like you can see, and make it more believable. No, it's just floating on the air. Even when you can create floating islands, as you probably seen in one of the already done theme parks of this game, and it works pretty well. But that wasn't what I was looking for in this roller coaster, right? And again, you use this painting tool, right? So you give them different textures, and I think I abuse a little bit with the rocky one. I want to make it a little bit more mixed all together, but at the moment it worked pretty well. And then, like I usually do, you just see I zoom out and look the how it looks, no, the skyline, if you like, of this creation, and then I attach this little thing on top of that building. But I didn't really like it. It just didn't look right to me. So in this moment I start thinking I don't really like it. I will think something else. So I start adding some detail to the towers, mostly to the other building. We'll go in a minute, you will see. And because I just didn't really like it how it looks just now, so I stopped doing things and adding some detail. Let's see if it looks any bit better. And pretty much I didn't like it, so I stop and go back to add some detail to the other building, you will see. And in a wee bit we're gonna see it. I'm sorry guys, I'm talking too early. And then you just start adding details to any building and start looking different. But still, if you zoom out of this just now, just didn't look realistic, or at least the thing I was looking for. Yeah, so yeah, you will see in a minute. I'm sorry, I speak too earlier. And yeah, again, I used this in the last episode, in the last building, and using it here as well, these beams, these wooden beams, and it works pretty well, no? It gives that feeling of detail, no, more deepness to the walls. It's not just a plain wall, which doesn't really look nice. And then I decided to connect these two buildings with this bridge kind of thing. It's a piratey thing, I think. And it's like a little port. I don't know, and it worked pretty well, as you can see. It's actually a wooden bridge, so I don't have the same material, two stony bridges, and I did like it. I did like it. At the beginning, I started thinking I didn't want to use too many things from the pirate theme, but if you integrate it right with the castle, it just looks medieval enough, at least to me. And yeah, now I'm adding these I don't know how you call it, these ropes here, so it just looks more like physically well hauled onto the building. And yeah, I wanted to attach another building to this, so it didn't have this look, but I didn't realize it was just, how to say, it just sat on that flat terrace we create with the terraforming tool. So further on I decided to change it, and well, now you see what's gonna be the definitive look of this, which I like it more than the old one. And yeah, here we go to, so if it looks more integrated onto the mountain, I just add another level of walls underneath this tower, so it looks more I don't know, more live. I don't know how to explain, guys, but yeah, this is as you can see here. Now we use a little bit more the terraforming tool, and it really looks what I was looking for, no, more integrated on the heel of this mountain, right? And yes, you pull with a very thin brush, and it gives more kind of like a wrinkly mountain, more rocky, so I say. Yeah, go back to this. I realized this is the first thing I have to add to a castle, to a wall castle, right? These beams, because it gives it a really nice touch, and I know I just like it more like that. So this little tower we just removed from top of that, I just decided to do it independent, so I can rotate it, and it will give it a different look, a more like building, if you can say that. I don't know. And yeah, well, like I said, in this chapter mostly we create the main structures, add some detail to this little building, to the third one, right? So not just a balcony here, add some doors, some kind of roofies, this piratey thing. Again, I didn't want to use the pirate things, but I did, and it worked well, and it's what we have, and I just have to use something to give more deepness, no, to the construction. So yes, I wanted to create something here so you can see from the outside. So I put first of all the lighting and create kind of like a, I don't know, like a little workers warehouse kind of thing, right? Like a lockup here. So I just add these woods and like a messy kind of lockup warehouse, I don't know. And yes, you just put that wall with holes on windows on it, these frames, and it looks alright. And then I used this other this other archy wall they gave us in the last update, so you as well can see through the building, no? So it's more deep, the deco you create on here. So you can see more detail here. And again, I went back to the barrels because they look alright, and in the Middle Ages, in the Dark Ages, there were barrels, so it's not just in the pirate time, you know. And yes, like I said, I put that and give it more detail, like I like. So yes, I moved back this main tower, no, the highest tower of this building, and start adding some detail. I just like it how it was. And here the same. I wanted to make something so you can see through the walls and see some detail inside, and of course add some detail. Now it was open. And I start again using some scenery from the pirate themes, this, and add some more banging canyons, these never stop canyons. And yeah, here I wanted to put something like hanging from there. I didn't know what, and at the end it was maybe it's a little bit kind of ridiculous what I add, but I just like the looking of it. Yes, it's this. I believe it's watermelons or something like that, hanging from a post on a tower of a. Doesn't make any sense, but I just like the looking of it, no? And yeah, and then I go back to add some foliage at the bottom of the castle, will give it more kind of like a rustic looking kind of thing, and then visual effects here, so we can have some fire on top of our walls, no? So the archers can light their arrows and fire the enemy and kill them by fire, I suppose. I don't know. I just like no the lighting of the fire, and then we use this scaffold here to give it more detail as well, because I thought I wanted to go with the rails of the roller coaster under this bridge, so I wanted to add some detail. And so far I have recorded few more episodes, and in this very place I just add this, but I believe in the future I'm gonna add some more details so you can see it from the roller coaster when you are on the ride. And again, these beams things, so it looks like you are actually holding the bridge. It's not just a thing there like magically hold from the walls. And of course our seaweed, because we don't have the AV, and I want to add some green detail to the walls. And yes, again with these little foliage I end up using way too much maybe, but when you just zoom out and look the whole thing in the same picture, it just looks alright, yeah. And the beans here, so yeah, and more detail here in this little tower. You almost can't see from the outside or from the roller coaster, but it's alright to add. It's alright to add some detail, no? So from wherever you look, it's already more filled up, so it looks more alive, no, more realistic. And yeah, pretty much this is the three main structures of the building. Is just a little bit more to add later on this episode. And I wanted to add some more detail on this bridge. I wasn't sure if on top or down here this platform I made with wooden roofs, and it was alright. So and see, you place the barrel as it comes, just standing up or sideways like I'm doing now, no? So with the same element you can create a whole thing which doesn't look so repetitive, no? And yeah, here I'm attaching another bit to the second building, so it doesn't look just standing on that platform of terrain, and it looks a little bit more, again, no, more integrated on the hill. And here we go. This is gonna be the base of this new thing we're gonna add to the second building, right? So that's the base of it, and now we are creating the top of it, right? Well, this whole thing we are creating just now is gonna be the main entrance to the castle, right? And even when the customers of the park cannot go inside, but they will see it, and I want it to look like a main entrance of a castle, no, of a stronghold or fortress or however you want to call it. And even when in this chapter we just gonna make them the main structure, we don't really gonna add so much detail to the second building, which is the biggest one of the castle. I wanted to leave down the main structure, and here we use a different walls for first time in this creation, as you can see. So it give it more deepness, but still wanted to look. I wanted it to look like a actual medieval fortress kind of thing, and I think I pretty much worked, right? So I have some more archers inside, and another roof. So we have a whole space, a hollow space inside this little tower, and then we're gonna attach it to the building, right? We start from the top. I know this can be magic for a real constructor, but yeah, I wanted to have like a little step, so I just place it like that. And then I just had to add some more detail to this top, because as you can see we have used this on top of the walls, the other ones they gave us, but in this one I use this building attachment, so it give it more like a fortress looking, no, like a more strong building, let's say, because anyway it's the main entrance of the castle, no? So yeah, here we go. It's not even similar to Minecraft, guys. I always go back thinking to Minecraft because I have created so many castles with Minecraft, and this just looks better, and it takes way less time to build it. And I don't know, even they just gave us a little bit with what construct, and you can create things really nice. And like I said in the last episode, I recommend you to go on YouTube and have a look, because seriously, Silver Red, for example, what he has created with this game is just amazing. It's just an alpha. Seriously, imagine what gonna be able to create when the whole game is done. And now, yes, that's the main entrance of our building. Now, just we're gonna add this roundy tower here, so it give it more deepness again to the building. It looks a little bit more castle-y, yeah. And there you go. We just don't gonna use anymore the time lapse, so you can see a little bit how slow I am when it comes to build with this. I was still familiarizing, no, with the editing tools and such, but from the very beginning of my construction to the point I'm just now in probably what's gonna be the 5th chapter, I'm way more faster, because it's just like with any other game, no? You just have to learn how to use it, and as much as I play, as much as I want to keep going, and yeah, you just this when you go to create something with this, you just put a horrible building, very square kind of plain building, and you don't like it, and say, oh fuck, this is I'm so bad creating, I don't have any inspiration. But then you go and create another crappy building, attach it to that other crappy building, and you have a half crappy building, and then another extra building, and then you have a normal building, and then you start adding some detail and start improving and start looking better, and at the end you end up with a great creation you have done with this, and then you say, fuck it, and now I can put a roller coaster around it, or underneath, or inside the bloody buildings, or whatever you like, and then you can put some more rides even when we don't have plenty of them, and fuck me, man, seriously. And this game, the economy is not even working, and I'm already spending lots of hours and enjoying so much. And well, this is the end of our chapter, like you can see. I hope you enjoy, and see you next time.